So, while thinking on an actual, real mountain that exists, metaphorically, in my mind, was that an odd enough first line? Anyways, I had an idea for more interactive stuff here. So, what will I be doing? I will be creating a board that looks like it's for Twitter, but use it for YouTube. This board will consist of members of the Joestar groups, and now using it, you will be able to pick your members to make the strongest team that you can. But before we get any further, this video was brought to you by our sponsor for today's video, Surfshark. Now, I'm sure that you know what a VPN is by now, obviously, but here's what Surfshark can do for you. One subscription allows you to install and run on Surfshark an unlimited amount of devices at the same time. There are apps for all platforms: PC, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, etc. Then there's also the fact that you have access to streaming sites on other countries' libraries. Like, hey, I wanted to see something that was only really seen in Netflix in Japan. Boom, right there. In addition to the VPN features, obviously, you have Surfshark Search, which is extremely hard for me to say, where you search in complete privacy, no ads or trackers following your every move. So you can sign up with Surfshark today by clicking this link in the description, promo code Caleb, which will give you an 83% discount plus 3 months free added on to this. Again, surfshark.deals/Caleb, promo code Caleb for 83% off and your 3 months free. Back to the video. Now for how the board works. You are given 14 points to make up a team. For example, Jotaro takes off 5 of the 14. You got 9 left. Now you can mess with the other characters to see how far you can maximize this team. Now here's my design philosophy here. 5 has your hardest all-around hitters with that special something over everyone. For example, Jotaro gives you Time Stop, and Josuke gives you Restoration with that Jotaro type of strength. Polnareff is there because of how closely he matched with Jotaro, plus he's really fast and cuts up people and stuff. That's a really cool thing. The 4s are strong too, but don't have enough to put them in the same area as the 5s, except for this little special someone, but I won't say yet. The difference is due to either a flaw in strength or intelligence in the 4s. There's also 3, 2, and 1, and they're all lesser extents of that. Now, there are so many combinations here that can create a meta that would probably require other teams to be organized for a specific one to beat the team made. But now I'll be going over combinations that I do think are extremely deadly. For one, consider the ranged users here. Kakyoin is a fantastic stand user with a fair amount of battle intelligence, and he has a lot of abilities that you'd want on a team. Hierophant Green can bind someone like stand or the person and give that opportunity for the other stand users to use their abilities that are normally hard to land. Like Heaven's Doors written in commands, but actually after the Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe series, specifically that Rainy Monday one, that's actually pretty easy to get off. You can use Okuyasu to swipe off someone's head, or maybe you'd like to pick Dire so that he won't miss his Thunder Cross split attack even though it never misses. And also failed in both times that we've seen it being used. Either way, I'm fine. I promise. Let's ignore that. You also have characters that are similar to Kakyoin, but to a lesser extent. Yukiko can use her hair in the same exact ways. And you could also have Old Joseph with her in purple. You just have to gauge the rest on your team coverage. Bruno can combine his stand with someone else to make Sticky Fingers a top tier utility in disassembling threats. Imagine you have 2 Jotaros fighting against each other, and one of the Jotaros just turns into body pieces with zippers at the end of it. Or even better, imagine someone has an extremely strong Jonathan around and he just gets zipped into the ground. Like, what do you do about that? There are also some combinations that I feel should work in theory. For example, you're familiar with Stray Cat from part 4, right? Ideally, this is in my head, if we were to combine Spice Girl with Caesar's Bubbles, that should absorb some hits, right? Like in the same way. And if she would want to, she can undo it, and then you get Caesar's Razor Bubbles right back. Don't forget, we also have our 5s and their utility, aside from this Kakyoin related stuff. Time Stop plus Crossfire Hurricane Special. Time Stop and the whole Sex Pistols Armada. time stop and Aerosmith to do what I call the Metallica special, you know, like from part 5, or anything else. Polnareff and Josuke should mean that Silver Chariot can shoot out its sword anytime and has a guarantee on coming back. Giorno's Life Giver ability plus any immobilizing type of stand is an extreme threat, but let me pause right here. Let me talk about who I feel should be considered a level 5 threat, honestly, considering their abilities, but I made a 4 for valid reasons and just a sprinkle of chaos. I mentioned Heaven's Door before, and using Heaven's Door on enemies' teams sounds snapped, obviously, right? But imagine using Heaven's Door on your own team. If you are not familiar the lengths that Heaven's Door can go, here's a refresher. From a neutral state, Heaven's Door was able to just write on Josuke to fly back at 70 kilometers an hour, and he did the same thing or a similar thing to Koichi when the Ghost Alley hands are grabbing him earlier in the part. So standard logic bound to physical things shouldn't exactly apply to Rohan or the people that he writes his commands in. Also, with being able to do something like make Koichi just know Italian by writing it in, the range of Heaven's Door shows to be a truly menacing thing. A couple of scribbles, and that turns Okuyasu into an experienced battle strategist, or makes someone like Jonathan able to blitz Jotaro Star Platinum, or make Speedwagon speak French. I don't exactly know why you'd want to do that in a fight, but if that's what you want, it's okay. I don't judge you to do that. You can do that if you want. Usually, I'd like to put my input in for these types of things, but I know that that'll warrant teams specifically made for my team to counter me. So instead, I'll have your comments do it first, so I have the option to cheat. I mean, review and show this to everybody. I'm obviously playing, sure. But I will be doing a follow-up video of the best teams that I've seen described. You can leave a comment here, or if you have any art of how your team works, you can send it to me on Twitter. We should use a hashtag so that'll be easier for me to see. Let's say hashtag JJBA teams. Yeah, that's fairly simple. Yeah. And I highly recommend the art part of it. And if you're in that situation where you think that, oh, my art is bad or you're not feeling it, let it be known that I support you and I think you're doing a great job. You're still an artist. If you don't make art, it's cool. Okay. The first step of drawing is doing it. That's what all the tutorial people tell me. I'll even do it. I'm not exactly the best artist like at all, but I've been holding it off on it. So I feel like I should be doing it too. We can do this as a group. Everyone shows their work. That'll be amazing. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in the next one and on Twitter. So until then, peace out and Godspeed.